Welcome back to Private Practice Blueprint. I'm Lauren Spalding, and if you're new here, this is a podcast for mental health entrepreneurs where we talk about business skills, clinical skills, and mental health. And welcome to today's episode. I apologize for my nasally little voice. I am getting over a cold / probably the flu that I had last week, hence no video last week. Thank you for your patience. I had to take some time off for my health, but I'm happy to get a video out this week. Nasal voice be damned. And today I wanted to talk about your mental health as an entrepreneur and what you should be keeping an eye on in order to sustain the energy that you need to continuously grow in your business and continuously run a sustainable private practice. This is a mental health tool that I found to be incredibly helpful as I've been scaling my business. And when I was attending social events with other therapists, I was recognizing that this is something that we actually don't often practice. And when we don't practice this mental health mindset tool, we end up in a burnout state. A lot of us are struggling with burnout right now as we're navigating being a therapist during such a stressful time, as we're coming into a different phase of the pandemic, as people are figuring out their new normal, and as we see more and more things happening in the world that are causing some collective trauma that we're all experiencing. And so it is so vital that we take care of our own mental health as we are providing mental health services to others. And so I wanted to share a little mindset shift that you can start to work on as far as the business side of what you do. Because we're not just therapists as private practice owners. We have to wear a lot of different hats in order to run our business, including doing all of our administrative tasks and all of our CEO level tasks that help the business grow and flourish. So here's my question to you as an entrepreneur. Are you able to separate the experience of stress versus anxiety? Do you notice if you are able to differentiate these two experiences, or are you overgeneralizing the feeling of hyperactivity, and in turn, your brain is constantly associating it with anxiety? As somebody who struggles with anxiety, I found this to be very challenging because a lot of what we do in running our business does cause some heightened tension in our bodies. There's so much that we do outside of just seeing clients, whether we're navigating taxes, doing our client paperwork, or marketing our business. There's just so many things on our ongoing to-do list that it feels never ending. And if we don't take the time to be a little bit more mindful on how we're managing our ongoing to-do list, we could be sending our body into a state of anxiety spiraling. And so it's important for us to make sure that we're differentiating the two, that we are teaching our body that not all stress has to be carried out and heightened in the same way that anxiety can feel. As a business owner, what are some ways that you are managing your work stress throughout the day? Are you making sure that you are labeling it as work stress, that you are letting it go at the end of the day as you transition into your personal life? And are you making sure that you are differentiating it in your body from when you're experiencing stress versus anxiety? Stress can still feel heightened. You might still feel like your heart's racing a little bit. You might feel like your speech is rapid, your breath is more rapid. You might even feel like your body's a little bit unsettled, like you have butterflies in your stomach or your muscles are vibrating. That can feel really similar to the experience of anxiety. But the difference is that you don't have to go straight into your survival brain. We don't need to go into flight, fight, or freeze when we are just stressed out, versus when our body is experiencing anxiety and tends to communicate to our brain that we do need to go into that survival mode and we do need to go into fight, flight, or freeze. The more and more that we can differentiate the experience and separate work stress from anxiety, the less our body will be activated so intensely and go from a 0 to 10. When our body is constantly going from 0 to 10, when we're constantly noticing a stressor in work is feeling a lot more elevated than it needs to, we are in the long run having a negative impact on our mental health as an entrepreneur. And the consequences are going to be experiencing burnout, compassion fatigue, feeling like you want to give up, and maybe even giving up. In worst case scenario, there are entrepreneurs who get so overwhelmed and so bogged down because they've been experiencing work stress to the same level of anxiety that they just give up. They stop doing the required tasks, and therefore they have financial consequences and negative consequences on their business, and ultimately their business fails. Half of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. And while there are many reasons for that, one reason is mindset. Some people tend to treat running their business like a sprint. They go all out all the time. Their to-do list has to be complete by the end of the day. It doesn't matter if they have to work a 10 to 12-hour day. They are constantly overworking, rushing, and making every single thing on their to-do list a top priority. Well, not everything can be a top priority, and not everything can get achieved every single day. As an entrepreneur, you have to view running your business as a marathon. You need to figure out your pace and figure out how you can prioritize tasks in a way where you are using the stress to your advantage. If there's a task with a deadline, or if there's something coming up that has multiple small tasks as a part of it in order to get the bigger task complete, you're going to want to break that down and prioritize. The reality is, the part of you that's carrying stress is just another part of your team. It's the coworker who's very, very mindful of deadlines. It's that person on the team who wants to make sure that you are constantly aware of the bigger picture and all the little details. But when you let that person run rampant in the staff meeting, they're going to completely overrun all staff meetings. They're going to actually negatively impact business planning, prioritization, and execution. And they are going to constantly be derailing the system. And so instead, can you see if this part of you can be mindful of deadlines, mindful of all the tasks at hand, but work with the other parts of you and listen to you as CEO? You have to be in leadership, not your stress and not your anxiety. Otherwise, you're going to get so bogged down with anxiety that you're no longer going to be able to lead well. You're going to become reactive, and you're going to become a business owner who works out of scarcity mindset and out of fear. Ultimately, those business owners do not succeed. And when it comes to thinking about self-care around managing the stress, keep it simple. Even the simple mindfulness trick of labeling work stress versus anxiety can help to slowly bring this mindset shift into your business management. Label your emotions, label your thoughts, label how your body's feeling in the moment. We all know this tip, Name It to Tame It by Dan Siegel. It helps our brain to start to calm down, but are you actually utilizing it in your day-to-day as a private practice owner? Having a routine where you transition out of work and into your personal life can be helpful in containing work stress to the work environment. For those of us working from home, this is especially vital as we are navigating some separation that is no longer there with that commute to a different office. So maybe the routine is changing your clothes or having a quick shower or rinse off, or putting your laptop in a completely different room and telling yourself you can't access it for the rest of the evening. Whatever it is, make sure that you have this transitional piece to your day where you're reminding your brain that work stress is important, but it's only important within the confines of those work hours. By ruminating and fixating on work stress during the hours of your day that should be your personal life, you are not doing anything positive for your business. And the final great self-care tip that I recommend is having an actual business plan and engaging in that business plan daily. Take time at the beginning of the year or wherever you're at in your year of business. Don't just save this for January if you missed it, but actually write out your business goals, the tasks that you need to achieve this year, and break down what you want to focus on for the month. Actually write down your to-do list instead of keeping it in your head. So that way you can actually prioritize your to-do list and you can see what deadlines are coming up, what you need to focus on for this week, and even what you need to focus on today. The more and more control you have over your schedule, the more it's going to feel like you're in control with your stress. And the more your anxious brain is going to be able to settle, and you can build trust in yourself as a business owner. Confidence is key. You are going to run a successful private practice. You deserve it. You're worthy of a six-figure business that is flourishing and thriving. That doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen by being a reactive business owner. So make sure that you're taking care of your mental health and try out these tools and navigate making sure that you are managing this work stress in a healthy way. If you're looking for community where you have a space of other private practice owners where you can address your mindset and take care of your own mental health, be sure to visit my website and check out the Collective Practice membership. This is a community-based business coaching space for therapists who are in private practice. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It's free and it's the easiest way to support this podcast and help it reach even more people. And share today's episode with a friend, a colleague, or anyone who could benefit from today's information. Be sure to follow me on my other social medias where I post even more free content for mental health entrepreneurs. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.